Glasses off because they glaring all up in there. Well, wake up show. I'm Brother Isaac K. Fingers, and this is part two. Part two. Mind intervention. The testimonies. Part two. I got a couple of brothers here. We're still waiting on some other brothers to show their face. They're probably watching me live now on the way here. But if you watched earlier today on the wake up show early this morning, did Mind Intervention Part 1. Mind Intervention Part 1 showed a bunch of these kids. I was trying to show kids, children, teenagers, young adults, whatever you want to say, that the life that you choose can lead you to death if you choose the wrong path. All right. Now, a lot of videos that I played, and I just want to apologize to everybody also that's on YouTube. I did get a notification saying that it was a copyright issue. That's why the live stopped. But when I got done with the lesson, it looked like it went all the way through. So later on, I'm going either tomorrow. I'm gonna look at the lesson. If it's all on there, I'm gonna leave it. If the lesson got cut, then I'm gonna upload it from YouTube. I'm gonna upload it from Facebook to YouTube, so you can definitely see part 1 on YouTube. So today, like I said, is the testimonies. What the testimonies is going to be about is brothers that I know, beloved brothers that's been through some things. A couple. From me talking to the other two, they were actually not initiated in, but they were honorary members of some gangs, and whenever they get here, they gonna give their testimony. My other brother, he's actually been in it. All right. You can also check him out on his name's Brother Mikael Ben Yesharon Israel. Yeah. Right. And you can check him out on his Hebrews in the Hood. Hebrews is spelled with a Z. NDA Hood. Ebonics. You can always check him out with his lessons on his YouTube, Hebrews in the Hood. And then on Facebook you can catch him, Mikael Ben. Is it Ben? It's Mikael Ben Yesharon Yisrael. All right. So one thing I want to do first is read something from scriptures. So everybody see my head is uncovered now. Y'all don't be tripping. There you go again with his head covered before he starts. Yeah, ready to make phone calls. Let's all go to James 5 real quick, all right? And this is actually helping out a lot, right? It really is. So, yeah. So let's go to James 5, and we're going to read one verse. Verse 16. Confess your faults to one another and pray for one another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. Of a righteous man availeth much. But the part that we're going to focus on the most is confess your faults to one another. Now, I recently did this with my marriage, confessing my faults to everybody about the decisions I made in my marriage that was wrong before the Lord. And it was the purpose of doing it was so someone else can see that's not the right way to go. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing today as well. Me and some of my brothers showing about how we took a wrong path when we were children, but the Lord gave us grace and mercy, and it might not happen for all children or all people. All right. So with that, I'm going to put my Bible away, unless y'all come up with something else. And I want to tell my little story for a minute, and then I'm going to hand it over to one of my other brothers. So I do thank y'all. Share the video. Share the video. Everybody that's on Facebook, everybody that's on YouTube, everybody on Periscope. Share the video. My little history when it came to dealing with some gangs, I'm not going to say who I was with. I'm not going to say what area I was with, because I just don't want to. All right. But when I was a shorty, my mother and father had divorced, and we moved here to Chicago from another state when I was around 5-6 years old. My mother was trying to raise me as a single mother, but like I pointed out in part one, a lot of mothers can't do that. They need daddy in their life. They need the father in their life to help. And let me also say this: we're outside near some train tracks, so we might have a train roll by here, like the one you probably just heard up there. But we got another one that's like directly right behind us. All right. Okay. All right. So, but there might be a train rolling through it. If it do, we just stop, right? Not the video, so we just gonna stop till the train roll by. So, like I was saying, age of 6, moved here, and my mother was following my auntie in the Nation of Islam. Now, my father was locked up in prison, in and out of prison. He'd been like that all his life. So when we moved here, of course, I had no father in my life. I had no male figure. Even the brothers in the Nation of Islam, nobody was being a father figure to me. So them streets got to me. All right. So I think around the age of 9 or 10 years old, that's up top, isn't it? That's up there. That train. Yeah, we got one getting ready to come through here. Do me a favor, hand me that car. All right. My phone picks up really kind of good though. Okay, we got some more of the brothers coming in now. You see me flapping myself, it's not because I'm trying to afflict my soul. We got these mosquitoes out here. What's up, bro? So, yeah, I hear that engine coming now. Yeah. So soon as okay. So like I was saying, moved here to Chicago from another state when I was around 5-6 years old. When I got around 8, 9, I'll say about 9 or 10 years old, I used to fly back and forth from the other state to visit my father during the summer. And my father was trying his best to, let me get closer. He was trying his best, but he kept going back to prison, and then that was just the end of it. I didn't get to see my father since I was like 8, 9 years old. So now the train coming. So hold on. Now the train coming. Oh, I hear this on the stuff. probably talk now since the train going slow and that engine. Okay, I don't know. One of my phones be picking up good. So like I was saying, around the age of 9, 10 years old, my mother started having issues of her own. She always had issues of her own. So she was going to things like Al-Anon, AA, OA, and me, I was in the streets. And the streets started raising me. But the thing about me, back in the day, they called them stick-up kids. That's what I was. I was cool with gangs, but I was one of them cats that did stuff on his own. So just like one of our brothers talked about before, being an honorary member, that's what I was. Because in almost every hood, there's that one crazy kid that they like, man, he cool and everything. That was me. All right. A lot of people don't believe in that because of the way I am, but see, the Lord raised me after a while. Out on the street, I started doing a lot of stuff that was wrong, but I had no guidance whatsoever. That's why that verse in Isaiah 51 says, out of all the sons, there's none to guide her. I had no guidance whatsoever. But I was slick about what I did. All right? So, like I said, I don't want to say what gang I was actually affiliated with. And I don't want to say what area I was affiliated, but it was the west suburbs. All right? Matter of fact, Maywood. Let me just put it like that. And then parts of the west side. I actually did something one time, got caught. And the police, I never had a rap sheet or anything. And the police actually arrested me. My mother didn't know what was going on. She couldn't figure out things. They actually talked her into giving me away as a child. Got locked up. Actually went to Audie homes. All right. After they figured out, okay, this is first offense, and they took me away from my mother, I was put in orphanages. I mean, not Audie homes, orphanages, different homes, all because I had no guidance whatsoever. This is why I be stressing that fathers need to be fathers to their sons, because there's too many brothers out here, and I was at one point in my life before I got adopted. All right. But there was things that I went through between the age of 9 to 13 and 14 that could have took my life. All right. I think the worst sound you could ever hear in your life is bullets going past your ears. All right. Now, one of my brothers, he's been shot, but the worst sound of all, the most terrifying sound is bullets going by you. And so the Lord was looking out for me. That's why I try to tell the kids at the class I teach. He may give up on you, so you got to stick with the program. But he was looking out for me. And what he ended up actually doing is putting me finally in a right home with a mother and father, 8 boys, 2 girls. But when I got there, I still had the peer pressure of the opposite gang I used to bang against. All right. So I stayed in my place. I didn't want to hear gunshots, all that stuff. I didn't want to do the things I did before because I saw where it took me. All right. That doesn't happen for a lot of people. All right. That don't happen for a lot of people. There's things that I am not I am ashamed about. That's why I said I never talk about it. And then there's some things I don't want to be incriminated. Like, oh, there go that nigga. That's what happened to him 30, 45 years later. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord preserved me so I could be teaching what I'm doing right now. Put me in a foster home. Like I said, 8 boys, 2 girls. My foster mother, my foster father couldn't have no kids. But they tried their best to raise everybody right. Still went through peer pressure after that. But all of that gang stuff, all that criminal activity stuff, I went through all of that before the age of 13 and 14. there was kids I knew that got killed and shot. But it didn't faze me because I was a kid thinking I could live forever. All right? But when you do hear bullets going past your head, that changes everything. A lot of my boys I came up with when I lived in Harvey, I'm glad the Lord put me with some brothers that was all about music and all about DJing. That kept me out of the peer pressure of dealing with GDs really at that time. So I do thank the Most High, in the name of Jesus, for preserving me so I can do what I'm doing now and teaching not just kids but adults so people can think before they act. So with that said, again, I thank the Lord in the name of Jesus. We already opened up with a prayer, brothers. It's dark out here now. I'm glad this is here because it got more light. So with that being said, with my testimony, who would like to go next? Because this brother here wants to go last. I don't think you should at all. So it's between y'all two. You want to go, Tony? All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce brother Tony. Brother Tony is actually a police officer, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna explain to you what he got to deal with when it comes to us as Israel being foul and pathetic. All right. I did Romans 13 today. You gonna do it again? Okay, cool. So here's brother Tony.
And he's a real cop. I'm honorary like some of these caps got right.
Let's see what my glasses. Make sure you on good. Yeah, you gonna have to probably speak up a little bit louder.
Hi, how y'all doing out there, world? I hope y'all can hear me.
Yeah, they can hear you.
All right, so peace to everybody. And like Brother Ozzy said, I do work in law enforcement, so I get to see things from both sides. Being an Israelite and being in law enforcement it's a blessing to be able to work, in our community. It is kind of you get a feeling of sorrow because you see all these curses and you see them up close and personal every day at work, and you know why stuff is happening because you can read it in the Bible, and you get a feeling of sorrow and grief, all of that mixed together, because all your people are going through something, and when you try to tell people why it's happening, some people won't listen, and some are just spiritually dead. But some people do listen, they get it, and they catch on, so that's a blessing also. A couple things I wanted to hit on was, the fact that Israel, we know we're gonna get punished for all our sins. I think that I don't think I'm gonna say this is a fact. This covers people that do know the truth, know the Israel, people that don't know. It covers everybody. So thinking you're going to get away with something is not gonna happen. I want to read for y'all people that don't know the scripture, Amos 3, chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. It's just letting you know that you pretty much you're not gonna get away with anything. All right, Amos 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. That's the Negro, African American, many titles. Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Iniquity is sin. Sin is transgression of the law. Stuff like thou shalt not kill. We kill each other left and right all day long. Thou shalt not steal. Israel got more locks on their doors than anybody else's community. We got 7 locks on our door. Stuff, that's the 10 Commandments. Transgression of the law. So that is saying the Lord will punish us for all our iniquity. That includes all Israel worldwide. So we run afoul of the Lord. We won't obey God. That's why a lot of things happen in our community. We do something, Say we rob a bank. Somebody of another race robs a bank. We're not going to get the same punishment. We're going to get the full extent of it because God's hand is in it. It's not just the court system; it's God's hand. So we're going to get punished harsher than anybody else. So we have less slack. Pretty much what that's saying. Um, Another thing I wanted to hit on was with the young people. The ages of most of the stuff that's happening in Chicago is pretty much, I think, 17 to 25. But a lot of this behavior starts at younger ages, adolescent years. A lot of it is disobedience to parents, any kind of authority. That includes law enforcement, teachers at school. Um, I work with teenagers inside of a high school, and I witness all of this stuff go on, and it's kind of shocked me. I didn't know it was that bad. When I was in school, kids didn't threaten people of authority, teachers, principals, all kind of adults inside the building. When I was in school, that didn't happen. But now it's just completely out of control. It's haywire. But at home, it all starts at home. You got to respect your parents.
Right.
That is so serious to the point where if you go too far as to cursing your parents or even hitting them, the Lord will kill you for that. Don't believe He won't. And I'm going to read that right out the Bible in case you don't believe that. I got Exodus 20, chapter 20, and verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. That's one of the 10 commandments. Honor your mother, your father, without condition.
That you may live long.
That you may live long and not short. The next one I wanted to hit was concerning in the instance where a child might think they can hit their parent and get away with it. Exodus 21 and verse 15. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. So you see a news story out here that a young person may have got killed, straight bullet, hit by a car. Don't always assume that it was somebody else's doing and not the Lord's. According to this scripture we just read. You don't know what that kid did. They could have slapped their mom and just left the house. But according to this scripture, the sentence was out on them.
Yes.
Next thing I wanted to hit on was the disobedience to authority outside of the house, which all leads back to inside the home. But when you don't obey your parents, you're not gonna disobey anybody else. So coming outside of the house, Israel got a problem with authority. We got a problem with God's law. We got a problem with law of the land. So I wanted to hit on a couple of verses in Romans chapter 13 that is telling us that we are supposed to obey authority, the law of the land, which includes the police. Israel has a problem with law enforcement. So I want to hit on that also. But again, it all goes back to the home. You don't obey your parents, you ain't gonna obey nobody else. But the thing is, your parents love you. People in the street, you're not gonna disrespect them and continue to get away with it, because you will get hurt by somebody. So I wanted to hit this Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. This is going to be your government system. Illinois, we live in Illinois, so Illinois government, city, county, you have to obey the higher power. That's the higher power. They set all the laws and statutes for the state. In addition to God, you always obey God first, but in addition to that, you have to obey this. It's God telling us that. Verse number 2, whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. That don't sound good at all, because you want to resist, again, city, state law, simple stuff like not carrying a weapon that's registered and not having concealed carry. You can't do that. Just an example.
That's an ordinance.
Yeah, that's the ordinance of the city. You can't do that. Of the state, that's a state ordinance. You can't do that. Verse 3, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. The ruler's not going to come after you for doing good works. It'll come after you for being evil. Again, it's God is behind all of this. Wilt thou then not be afraid of power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Verse 4, for he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. That sword can be a gun from a police officer or somebody of law enforcement. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
He's a what again?
He is
a minister of God.
A minister of God,
yes, sir.
A revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. So for y'all that didn't know, I work for God. I'm in law enforcement, and so do the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking you going to disobey police, you going to disobey state law, you disobeying God. Believe that. Verse number 5. Wherefore you must needs be subject not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. So, this sums up that we have to respect the law of the land, Israel. Like I said, government, state level, city, county. A lot of the state law is based off of the Ten Commandments anyway. All of this is set up by God. It all coincides together. What you won't ever do is go against God in any form or fashion, no matter what any man says. But all of this is set up by God. You have to obey. Israel got a problem with that. That's why we find ourselves in the predicament that we are in. It's like we bumping our head up against the wall.
Hold on 1 second. Let the string go by. Nice slow one too.
They still here a little bit.
Yeah, as soon as the engine go by. See, now you can talk.
Oh yeah. Okay, one part I forgot to mention was growing up. I wasn't privy to have any understanding of the Bible, so I disrespected my parents. I could have been dealt with by the Lord even in my ignorance, but God is merciful, and I got a pass for that. But I don't advise anybody to try God. And now that you may know that you can't do certain things, you better not do it. According to what we've been reading, that sounds like a sure bet you're gonna get hurt by God. Next thing I wanted to hit on was kids. I see, at work, I see a lot of kids roaming around by themselves, even at late hours of the night. That's definitely a big no-no. As many people may have been following the news or researching, the sex trafficking is huge.
Organ trafficking
and organs trafficking. But they don't want adults in the sex trafficking. They don't want that. They want children. They want teenagers. That's the big money. So I see all kind of kids walking around. I always tell the kids in my school, don't be hanging out all late. Don't be by yourself. I know parents say this to their kids, but it's real. I seen it. We got this pedophilia thing kicking off. It's huge. You can't be out here late. Girls can't be out. I don't think a teenage girl should be out by herself no time of day, period.
Especially with earplugs in the
right.
ear.
You got your iPhone in your face. Ain't paying attention to nothing. I see it all the time. They snatch your kids off the street. There was a story about a month ago where they were finding these girls' bodies in abandoned buildings and all kind of stuff. So if that's not proof that you shouldn't be out here by yourself or late, I don't know what is. The city has curfew that has to be obeyed. During the week, 11 o'clock. No, during the week it's 10 o'clock for 17 and under. On the weekend it's 11. Another ordinance that we have to abide by. People that go against that, you're going against God, something's going to happen to you. That pretty much sums up. my last thing is, I saw this a lot at the school I'm at. Um, Kids hang with the, trying to be part of the crowd. You know, I know at that age everybody want to fit in or whatever, but you gotta stand on your own. This goes for girls and boys. You can't follow nobody. Um, you got that one friend that, yeah, they fun to hang around, but you got in the back of your head they could be trouble. Uh, I have friends like that. The dangerous ones are the fun ones, I know. But consequences come with that. So we catch a lot of kids that say we catch a car, stolen car, there's 4 kids in there. There's only one crook in there, but the rest of them wanted to be followers. So guess what? Knowing that you Israel, you in the car with them, you going down too. You shouldn't have been there. Don't let nobody convince you. Okay. Don't let nobody convince you to do wrong. I got one scripture for that, pertaining to that, and I'll be done. But I wanted to read this so the kids that's listening, parents, you can pass it on to the kids, can let them know what's happening as soon as I find it. All right, I think I got it. Okie doke. So, for the people that like to hang with the car thieves, the stick up kids, the killers, and all of that, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If your buddy that like to steal cars try to get you to be down with it, say no. You can't have people around you like that. You definitely can't follow them. And that is my portion. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.
All right, brothers, we gonna have. Let me adjust these cameras real quick. All right, so we're gonna have Brother Ade come up here, tell his testimony. My man. You want to speak up, bro?
All right, peace out, Israel.
Come a little bit closer.
Peace, Israel. Thanks, Brother Ade. Brother, and just to piggyback off of what Brother Tony said about respecting your parents, that's very important, man. Because look at it this way, like I wasn't in a gang, never was in a gang, never been in a gang, never been blessed in any gang. But Chicago's very territorial, so no matter what, if you hang around anybody in your neighborhood, they're gonna associate you with that gang in your neighborhood. And it's all cool when you're in your neighborhood. It's when you go outside of your neighborhood the problem comes in at. So high school is like a bunch of neighborhoods in one high school, and you're prone to just hang out with people who are affiliated with a gang in your neighborhood. So what I'm saying is that if you've been at a school with a bunch of you have GDs, you have BDs. We're in Chicago. If you're not familiar with Chicago gangs, you have GDs, BDs, Vice Lords, all in one school. So if you're from a neighborhood, let's say Vice Lord, that's the people you're gonna gravitate to. So you'd be considered like a gang affiliate. And being a gang affiliate is no better or no worse than being in a gang in the first place. So they still gonna treat the exact same way. They're gonna, that's by the police and by the other gangs, So I mean, like I said, I don't, not to, get too much into my life story or whatever. But it's being in high school. You go to high school, you're 14, your dad, my parents sat me down like, you know what, you're 14 now, you're in high school, you're going to be approached by different things. I'm like, being approached by gangs. I'm like, I'm 14. Every time I've been approached by gangs, I'm thinking about that. My parents are being outdated, but no, they didn't mean that. They're like, you're outside your neighborhood now. So you're dealing with other gangs now more so than ever. So what I said to say that is that, I'm hanging out with the people, from my neighborhood, guys I know from my neighborhood, and automatically you're like, oh yeah, he's one of those people from that gang, or he's one of those people. automatically when this fight break out, you know, police is coming after you because they're like, okay, you're a gang member, you know, regardless of you actually being in the gang. So what I'm saying to say that is, you know, it's just that when you want to like, I guess you know we call it false flagging, or you want to like act like you're in the gang, you will get treated like you're in the gang. That's the whole problem. So you know, just to say that, you know, so I like to say to the young people out there, it's just that, you know, be careful how you carry yourself because us growing up, the gang was cool. You look up to the guys, you know, they're tough, they all these stories, you see, listen to the older guy, like, man, he kind of cool, man, he tough, they don't take no crap from anybody. But you don't see the other side of it. You don't see them get, you know, we didn't see them, you know, we saw them get chastised by the police, but we don't see what happened in the booking process. We don't see what happens when they get into the jail. We don't see them like ducking and dodging all the time, like really like, you know, wrapping your brain around actually being like actually fearing for your life. So, I'm sorry, you know, sorry people that's trained.
Just speak up.
You know, okay, yeah. So, yeah. So, like I said, so all I can say is that, you know, just be careful how you carry yourself. You know, because by you being, whether you're in a gang or not, you're hanging around these people, you're going to be considered a gang member, regardless. So, that's all I wanted to say. So, peace and peace out to everybody.
All right. All right. So that was my brother Ade telling his testimony. Make sure all this stuff is cool. Please share the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, my brother Mikael, he gonna come up too. Before him, we gonna get brother Cassius come up give some information as well. All right, yo. Oh, I'm listening on the other phone, so I can know they hear me. All right, so brother Cassius gonna come up tell his stuff too.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to piggyback off of what brother Tony was talking about as far as the law of the land. So I had recently, this week, went to a little convention where they were speaking about how criminals can actually bring themselves back into being law-abiding citizens. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. You know, the Lord teaches us to be law-abiding citizens at the end of the day, for His law and the law of the land. So all y'all out there that want to, you know, get into the street life and this, that, and the other, when it comes time when you realize that ain't the life for you, and then you got all this stuff on your record, you got to do all this stuff just to get it off of your record. And you might not have the patience, you might not be diligent enough to go through that process. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. In the United States, there are 48,000 laws that prevent a felon from being able to get a job. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to hinder his quality of life. And you don't want that happening to you because you want to be out here in these streets thinking it's cool and being, you know, out here being stupid. So even with the law of the land, the Lord gives you a way to repent, which is when you get your record expunged or sealed. Now, when you get your records expunged, that completely erases that particular law that you broke off of your record. But when you get it sealed, that doesn't erase it, but you're not going to be hit as hard when you go and get jobs. All of this stuff is going to affect you when you want to go out there and start a career and get jobs and things of that order. So I just wanted to say that it's 1,500 laws just in the state of Illinois that'll keep a felon from getting a job. So all of this stuff uh, all of this stuff we're talking about as far as the law of the land being the ordinance of God, he has judgments on these ordinances, y'all. And those judgments will follow you in your life. And they will pursue you. Now I just want to get a personal story of mine that this is why I never joined the gang, even though I was affiliated. I saw things that I was able to escape from because I wasn't blessed in the gang, actually. For instance, I remember with my boy, he had lost what you call the block gun. So what's gonna happen is the neighborhood has a personal gun they do missions for with. So you go and lose the block gun because you responsible for having it. And what's gonna happen is they gonna violate you first. First, y'all. You gotta pay for it, so they gonna whoop on you, and then they gonna send you out there to go and get the block gun after they done whooped you down. So that means that the ops that you going to get the block gun from, they got an advantage on you because your own brothers didn't beat you down for losing it. Like you don't stuff like that. All of these statutes out here that's preventing the quality of your life. Then you gotta go through all that. Ain't nobody trying to go through that, y'all. Like that doesn't make any sense. And us being servants of the Lord, we got to be out here teaching people not just about God's holy laws, but about these ordinances in these governments, because regardless, it is going to affect your quality of life. That's what it's going to do. Like you can go out here. I don't care. Like I get to the point where stuff may not be a sin, but it'll be illegal. So regardless, you don't want to be out here breaking these laws. You don't want to be in this life because when you gonna come to a point when you get older where you're gonna be like, this really isn't for me, or you're gonna get wise when you get to the point where you're becoming more wise, and the fear of the Lord comes upon you. Even if the fear of the Lord doesn't come upon you and you just get wise and you tired of all of this, when it's time to backtrack and go the opposite direction of being a law-abiding citizen, you got to go through all this mess, and you got to be diligent enough to even get through all of that. And there are gonna be people that are not that diligent, and they're gonna be stuck where they are. So I just wanted to share that. I'm gonna pass this over to my brother Azza. Let him do his thing. But shalom, family.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. All right. So
I hope some of y'all are sharing this video. Got your teens, got your children in front. Be sure to watch part 1. I would advise parents to watch part 1 themselves first, and then if you feel it's fit, have your teens watch it. Again, like I said, I'm gonna try to upload the YouTube version the Facebook version to YouTube if the YouTube version is all messed up. Now I want to bring up my beloved brother Mikael Ben Israel so he can tell his story, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and close this out. All right, so Mikael, come on up, bro.
Got a nice little setup up here. All right, yeah. Peace, everybody. Grace and peace. Shalom, shalom. Some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. Mikael Ben Israel, my brother, Eleazar Tony, who spoke earlier. He kind of stuck that Jeshurun nickname to me, and it's stuck now. So that be it, man. Y'all know some people even call me Mr. Hebrews in the hood. Now I don't know why they did that, but I answer to it. You call me anything, just don't call me stupid. And so the brothers give some powerful testimonies, and the truth of the matter is, I want everybody to know that everybody's testimony ain't the same. Some people come from corporate world. Some people would never even had to go through the drastic things that we had to go through. But it don't mean that they wasn't on the path to the lake of fire. Because, sin is sin. If you ain't in the truth, it ain't no in between. You can be a clean cut guy. You could never
never bust a gun in your life or sold a drug in your life. But as far as the Most High is concerned, you can be illegal. You could be a criminal in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Under the Constitution, which is the Torah, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God of Israel. And so, don't nobody be too quick to put people in certain categories. And so, I just like to say, I'm gonna take my hat off because I know we're gonna deal with some scriptures. So if y'all see these lumps on my head, the mosquitoes is out here licking, Jack. So if you see a couple of the brothers on here shining with lumps, because somebody had this bright idea to rub coconut oil on us to stop us from getting bit. It works a little, but for the most part, it just got our already bit up lumps shining now. And so now you can see them worse, and they on here cracking up too. Yeah, we all getting bit. We know we had to wait for the sun to go down to light the fire, and so so now that's doing us some good. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I like to thank the Most High for all these brothers' testimonies, and I think this helped with people that's coming into the truth, and even people that's been in it for a long time, to know that we didn't drop out of heaven. None of us. Y'all follow some of us, rather on Facebook, our posts. We drop inspiring scriptures, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in lectures that some of us do, whether it's teaching, straight up on the pulpit. And the truth of the matter is, we all came from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are not second, third generation Hebrews. I know some. We have some at the camp that's second, third, fourth generation even. But we wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? I came straight from the hood. Y'all already know that. But for those who are not familiar, I'm gonna give y'all a quick one. I've told my story on a number of occasions. You can find it on Debate Talk for You. On a show with the brother. Shout out to the brother Sal Showtime. He had a show called the IOG Effect, and we was even blessed enough to have some of the elders come on. And I know they had their fingers crossed when I asked them. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of looked at kind of radical, but brother Elijah from the Israel Church of Jesus came on there. Also, brother, what's some brother name? Rodney Russell, Pastor Russ, right? Brother Rodney from the Israel Church of the Living God, brother Stevie from Preacher Head Ministries, and of course, brother Bowie, head elder at the IOG. He came on there, and he broke down the history and all that type of stuff, how he came into the truth himself. And on that show, I started off with my testimony. Also, you can catch it. I think I did it on Maccabees TV too. Shout out to Danya Allah. And I think you also could catch it on Lex Vortex YouTube station, where I was promoting my book that I'm still half stuck in. I got writer's block. But it was entitled From Vice Lord to Servant of the Lord. So y'all can say which one I was in. I know why they don't want to, but I can because it's already on the book title. So just get that all the way away. Not to mention it's tattooed, wrote all on my body, so I can't hide it no way. And it's funny because when the brother Cassius was giving his testimony about the block pistols, right? Well, let's just say I had a specific position in the organization. And so I probably would have been one of them cats that told him, hey, look, bro, you didn't got that banger caught up. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I would have been a little more lenient, though. I'd have been like, you know what? Either you got to pay for it, we giving you 48 hours to pay for it, or you can go ahead and take these doohickey knots we going to put on your head, and then you still got to pay for it. So he right about that. It's like a dang if you do, dang if you don't. But you should know if you join any type of organization, and they're a lot less structured now, but nevertheless, they're still as dangerous, and that's what we be trying to tell these little teenagers out here, when they run around loosely saying words out their mouth like, hey, folks, hey, Lord, hey, Mo, and and all that type of stuff, to somebody who out there in the street, they just hear that conversation. They don't know you're not real. So you probably just saying it because, you hang around your homies and you hear them saying that you ain't took no oath. You don't know no creed. You ain't been blessed in, like Ozzy brought up earlier, but you still gonna get the same repercussions. You're gonna either wind up in jail for hanging with them, or you're gonna get your wig knocked back. See, I'm talking like a hood cat now, so the hood cats can understand what I'm saying. And for those who not from the hood in modern terms, that means you will catch a fatal wound. You know what I mean?
A stone.
And so, yeah, and in ancient times, that would just be, thou has been caught with a stoning. You know, 'cause them bullets ain't nothing but modern day stones. That's what we've been trying to tell people. You know, the judgment law has been taken from us because we messed up so bad. He got us under the Gentile now, and wherever else we scattered around the world. But the truth of the matter is, we still getting stoned. Because if you still out here breaking the commandments, you know what them stones are now? They them 9mm, 380, 12 gauge. They them bullets, man. Them AK bullets, that's getting stoned to death. You know, by the grace of the Most High, all us, he spared our life. Us that's here right now and y'all that's watching. Because to be quite honest with you, whether you didn't sell drugs, whether you were never a killer or a thief or anything like that, you are still worthy of death. To be quite honest with you, in the eyes of the Most High, you are still worthy of death. Let me see who I have. One of y'all got your one of y'all grab y'all sword real quick. You got it? All right. I want you to pull something up for me. I want you to pull up I believe it's Isaiah chapter 41. Is that Isaiah 41 and 22? Because it was something you brought up. I was watching Oz's show earlier he did this morning. And he dropped a staggering statistic. Now, y'all know I'm a statistician.
Talking about prison?
Yeah.
42.
Yeah, Isaiah 42 and 22.
Come over here so they can hear you read.
Yeah, come up. You can stand over here. You ain't got to come on the camera if you don't want to. So they can hear you read. Isaiah 42 and 22. Now, when this brother said this thing earlier, man, I was watching his show. And he pulled up a statistic that it's more, quote unquote, black males, which we know are Israelites, in prison right now than it was in chattel slavery in 1850. Now that blew my mind back. So would you read that, bro? This Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Robbed and spoiled.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none deliver it.
You hear that? So it said, man, we all robbed and spoiled. You know, we like to throw that term around. You know, you just spoiled. But the truth of the matter is, the reason we don't like spoiled kids, because if you spoil, your fruit ain't no good. Nobody likes spoiled fruit because it messed a whole bunch up. You see what I'm saying? And we've been spoiled, and it say we hid in prison houses, man. And when I was showed that statistic earlier, that's the first popped up in my head. And so we gonna keep winding up in them prison houses, you know, because we making it easy for them. You know, it lets you know, man, that they got snares set up for us. A snare is a trap. That's like you running through the woods and you get caught by a snare. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, the way the whole system is set up is one big snare when it comes to us. You know what I mean? Like if yeah, you know, like the stuff that's going on, everybody in the uproar over the bank truck or over the bait truck, you know, in Chicago, that happened with the sneakers in there. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you, you know, yeah, that is entrapment. You can even say it's lasciviousness. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, they've been doing it. They've been had the bait car and all that. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Them laws like entrapment and all that, them don't apply to us. Them laws do not apply to us. We are literally prey out here, man. You know what I mean? And the only way that you can somewhat even lift that burden up off of you is by going back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God of Israel. Ain't no other way around. Ain't no other way around it. You might think that you better than the next man because you ain't been through what they've been through. But as long as you not out here following the true and only God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you might as well be doing the same thing they doing. Because you're going to get the same thing at any moment. It's only the grace of the Most High, because he long suffering that we've even been able to make it to this point. So I'm always grateful for that.
Hallelujah.
And that's most definitely hallelujah. And one of the other things I want to say, man, it got to start here, because I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick, and I'm gonna go because I've been long enough. You know, it's no secret. I got into the street organization when I was around 12 years old. I got blessed for real when I was 12 years old. So I was in grammar school. I got shot the first time when I was in 8th grade. And matter of fact, as the school year was just about to let out, I think I got shot maybe a month or so before the school year let out. I got shot in the pelvis with a 38 after school, because we had a fight with some ops. See, we was saying that word way back then. They just rehashing stuff. We had a fight with some ops in school, supposedly. You know, now I realize that ain't no ops. We all the same people. You know what I'm saying? The devil is the op. You know what I mean? But I got the best of the brother after school. You know, we came out. He was up there with some of his guys or whatever, and he was waiting on me. He had a pistol. He wasn't coming to fight this time. He had a pistol. He shot me. In broad daylight, coming out of school, grammar school, 8th grade, right there on 76 in Peoria. That Oglesby Grammar School. I got shot right there on that corner. That was the first time I got shot. Then I got shot again about a year later. I think I might be missing the time. So when I write the book, it'll be in detail. So if y'all check one of my other videos and I say a different time, I'm like, see, I knew he was lying. No, you can just, matter of fact, half my street brothers and sisters is on my Facebook friends. So if I lied about anything, I would have been outed. Trust me. So, about a year later, I think I got shot again, coming from swimming. Foster Park. He was coming from swimming. We was in war with the Gangster Disciples, and they came down the block shooting. I got hit in the leg that time. Then I got shot again about 7 months later. I got shot again with a 7, as they call it, 357, in the butt. And that don't hurt. I mean, and that don't feel good either. That's a hot, stingy feeling back there, Joe. Right on the cheek, too. Luckily, I don't really count that one because it didn't really go like in and out. It just kind of just like grazed the chunk off. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, it grew back, so you can't tell, but y'all won't know no way because y'all never see it. Also, I think after that, I see when I get shot again. This is sad, but I have to think back because I'll forget something sometimes. Oh, then it was about probably a couple years later or something like that. I got shot again. I got shot in the neck with a Tech 22. It went in right here, and it came out over here. You know, so that was a real close one. And that story was crazy, but I had to leave that for the book. But we was out there looking for trouble. I mean, we was on some straight back then. I mean, cats would literally hide just shootouts, just standing in front of each other. You know, like we didn't even know what a drive-by was. Like they just started this. Like it's looking like LA now, Chicago. Like we always thought that was like a coward way to shoot at somebody. You driving by just shooting. You know what I'm saying? We was running up on cats, you know. Shamefully to say. I'm definitely not glorifying it. I just thank the Most High. And if y'all see the difference on my testimony, all them brothers walked up here. I wheeled up here. And that's due to the lifestyle that I was living. So it ain't glorious at all. Here go the devil. Okay. Yeah, y'all can hear me clear. And so, you know, this definitely ain't glorifying nothing because the reason, like I say, I wheeled up here to my testimony and didn't walk is because of the things that I was doing. You know, the Most High kept giving me warnings, but I thought I couldn't die. You know, I was arrogant, you know what I mean? I was living that street code. I figured all I needed was my brothers, you know. We called ourselves worshiping Allah or whatever, but it was really a religion of convenience. It just was affiliated with the organization. And, you know, we dabbled into the board science stuff and all that stuff after that. But at the end of the day, and I'm not knocking nobody for what they believe, if it brings structure to your life, big ups to you. I hope at the end of the day, though, we're going to still have to come back to this truth. But there's only one truth. You know what I'm saying? And the last time I got shot, I was actually riding around looking for some cats to shoot. I'll never forget, we was riding around It had just got through raining, or I think it was still trickling raining, and then it stopped. And it was so weird because the block that we went on, y'all, it was always some cats out there. Like, but for this day, and it was a nice day outside. Like I say, after it rained, it was nice and sunny. Wasn't nobody outside. We rode around these blocks, man, 4 or 5 times. Yeah, unfortunately. We rode around these blocks 4 or 5 times looking for some cats to shoot. You know, because we was in war at the time. And we just know it was all from the Most High because before you know it, my boy and them was like, man, ain't nobody out here, man. Let's just go and leave that alone. Cause I was, and it's the killer part. I was the one itching to get somebody. My boy and them just want to smoke their weed, drink. They, you know, they tripping on me. They like, man, you know how we used to talk. Man, Lord, you won't let it go. You really want to get you one of them. I'm like, damn right, I want to get one of them, right? And look what happened. When it was time for them to drop me off at the crib, we pulled up, and I had stuck my pistol under the dashboard, right? Because, you know, we used to have these things back then called master touch stashes. You hide your pistol, you know, they'd be custom places in the car where you would hide your pistol, catch the police pulled you over, they wouldn't find it.
Don't give no idea.
And oh no, I ain't giving no idea. You know, nowadays you can't do that nowadays. No way. They bringing the dogs out. But and so I left it in the car, which is weird. I never leave my pistol, right? I left it in the car and I ran all the way up my stairs to go to my door to stick the key in and go in. And my boy called up from the car. He said, hey, bro, you left your, we used to call them swords back then. Now the sword we use is the KJV Bible. See that? That's our sword, not. But they called me to the car and they was like, man, Joe, you left your sword or whatever. I said, how in the world I do that? So I ran back to the car and I went over to the passenger side. And I bent over in the car through the window to get it, and it was stuck. And I'm like, what in the world? And it was just strange, you know, because right after that,
Never fails.
why do people do this? This is crazy.
Never fails. Somebody calling every time you knock.
Shalom, Ak. I'm literally live right now while you call. I'm live, Ak. Okay, I hit you back, Ak. I'm live. All right. And so you know, and so I'm under there trying to get it or whatever. And then like my guy and them looking down, they trying to help me get it because it was three other people in the car. And before I know it, I felt a car behind me. And I turn around, and then it's funny, I said we didn't do drive-by. That's actually how I got put in a wheelchair. And that's why it caught us off guard, because we used to catch jumping out. But when I turned around, it was a big Bronco, and it was a dude sticking out the top of the sunroof. He had a blue bandana on his face, and the cat driving had a blue bandana on his face. But I knew who they was. And he just said, yeah, we got your A9. You know what I'm saying? And he just unloaded on me. And we was probably where that banister is back there. That's probably no more than 6-7 feet behind me. That's where he was at, and this where I was at. And I had my back turned to him, but I was looking over my shoulder at him, so it wasn't nowhere I could go. So he hit me all up in the back, and I tried to run, and I guess the last one that hit me hit at the bottom of my spine, and it didn't break my spine, but it hit my nervous system, my nerve endings at the bottom of my spine, and my legs just went out. And as they went out, I fell up under the car. And so I'm laying up under the car, and they steady shooting. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, they Swiss cheese the car. Nobody else got hit. So it was basically intended for me. And you know, when my boy went to start the car up, you know, I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk because the impact had hit me so hard. I thought it came out my chest. I couldn't talk. And so I was laying there, and just so happened my other boy looked out from the passenger side and synced me up under the, you know, halfway under the car. And he was like, don't pull off, bro. He was like, Mike, under the car, man. And so, you know, they came out, they pulled me from under the car, blood everywhere. I passed out. I came back to, it was 50 people around me in a circle in the middle of the street crying. And it's some stuff I left out of this. If y'all go watch the other interview, you probably see it, but it's a real detail, and there might be some kids watching. But I'll just say this: I knew I was messed up, because I thought I felt my legs were bent. They felt like they were bent, because I guess that was the last motion I was in. I was trying to run, but when I looked down, my legs were straight, but they felt like they was bent. So I knew I was messed up. And, and I asked one of my homies to do something that I won't mention on here, but luckily that was my real homie and he refused to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, he had my pistol on him at the time. And so I went black after that, woke up 2 weeks later at ICU, with my parents. And that's the worst thing, kids. When y'all doing this stuff out here, y'all don't know this ain't just your life. You affecting everybody in your life that love you. I never seen my father cry ever in my life. I seen it 2 times. That day that I woke up, I could see he had a tear rolling down his eye. He tried to wipe it when I woke up. My mama, she was broke down. She ain't even try to hide it. But the only other time I seen it when my father cried was when he died on his deathbed. He had lost his speech. And I told my daddy I was gonna be okay. And I'm glad he accepted the Most High in Christ. And he had a little tear roll out his eye. So that was like it was happy to me at that time. You know what I'm saying? So the message of this story is, listen here, little brothers and sisters. Because the sisters, y'all want to hang around these killers too. And so you in the same danger. Because I know how it is. The thugs get all the action. The boys that's going to school and doing everything they supposed to do, y'all think they goofies. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you one thing, ain't nobody looking for that goofy to kill him. You don't know what your little thug boyfriend and did. He probably stuck somebody up the night before or anything like that. You jumping in the car with him or got him driving your car. You know how many girls I know who got their car shot up because they want to hide a neighborhood bad boy in their car? I'm going to be quite honest. I've done it. Back in the day when I was on that, I'd be like, hey, you shouldn't have been in his car. That's the same car that shot at me the other day. So I didn't care who was driving. I would know the license plate. That's how good my eye was. So I'm telling you, sisters, stop trying to want to be with the killer. The little drill music, Brandon shaking, they all that, you know what I'm saying? It ain't cute when your child or you get hit up for something that they did. And I'm telling you, little brothers, man, I understand that you build a camaraderie with your homies. But if your homies, man, ain't trying to come up out of that life, even as a young age, or better yet, if they don't respect that you believe in God and want to follow God, then them ain't your homies. Point blank, period. They supposed to respect it. To this day, I got killers from the hood that still love me. Sometimes, they be like, they still say the Lord thing because it's just stuck in their mind. But they always recognize who I am. Man, I be checking you out, bro. And, they see me in the hood, man. I got straight up gangsters out there, and they'll be like, man, shalom, Israel. I got half the hood saying shalom, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's starting somewhere. I mean, half of them don't know what it means, but that's a start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And so that was my testimony, man. I just like to say, like I said, in the end of the day, man, we got to return back. Oh, and one more thing. Could one of y'all give me Ephesians, the 4th chapter? Yeah, Ephesians, the 4th chapter. I believe it's around verse 22. I believe it's Ephesians 4 and 20. I believe it's Ephesians 4 and 20. Whoever wants to. Whoever is, come stand right here so they can hear you good. Please stand right there. Ephesians 4 and 22. I believe that is. Read it out loud. Come close. Right. Yeah, they can hear you.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Now y'all hear that? They tell you, and when you come into this new life, this new walk of life, you got to put off that former conversation of the old man. It's just full of deceitful lust. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff that we used to love in the streets. Yeah, I'm still kind of rough how I talk or whatever because I was a thug. If you want to, for lack of a better words, that's what you want to say. So I speak these brothers' language because I come from where they come from. But one thing you ain't gonna catch me around here doing is talking about effing this B or just straight ratchet stuff. You know what I mean? Like you got to put away that former man. Like you shouldn't even really be entertained by that no more. You see what I'm saying? And it's because if you put away that former man, your homies in the hood is gonna recognize that. Like I still break bread with my homies. We laugh about stuff like I ain't holier than thou. We still laugh about stuff, but it's certain stuff that I just don't entertain. They talking about all these hoes and stuff like that they dealing with. I don't chuckle on it or nothing because it ain't part of me, and they know what that means through my body language. So that's why I limit how much I go hang out like that. I don't cut them off because that's my family. They love me. They always there for me. And you know what I'm saying? Plus, a lot of them is coming up out of that lifestyle, like I did. So I never cut them off. But I would never want to go hang around that all the time now. Right. The funnest thing to me is when I can be with brothers and sisters of a like mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I come to your barbecue, I ain't got to worry about no pig ankles being on the grill. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about nobody firing up no crack. And we chilling at the barbecue and homie just fired up the pipe, like on the slide though. Like, what was that? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about none of that. You know what I'm saying? And even my homies from the hood, ain't none of them bogus like that. You know what I'm saying? We all respect one another. And so, man, you just got to change your crowd, man. Put away the former man. The gangster stuff ain't about nothing. It's only about the grave, man. And with that, I say shalom, shalom, peace.
Thank you, bro.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir.
Give me that chill. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Let me hand me one of that chill.
I don't want mine.
You stopped the ride.
No. Close this up. Yeah, so we can go on here.
Yeah, so I thank everybody for watching. Again, please share the video. Like I said, go watch part 1, which is the law, and then come back, show your kids the testimony, which is part 2 right here. Because the again, us telling our stories and stuff, hopefully there's some kids that will be like, okay, I ain't trying to live that life. I'm not trying to get shot. I'm not trying to die. And sometimes this is what some kids need to hear. They need to hear from some grown men what they've been through and how that, that lifestyle ain't that life ain't really all that. They need to get with this life, which is Christ. All right. And again, main thing is keeping the commandments of God. That's what all this comes down to. If we kept the commandments of God, wouldn't nobody be in a gang. Wouldn't be no killing, no stealing whatsoever.
Christ, Mom.
Christ, Mom. So I thank everybody for watching again. Please share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to Brother Mikael's YouTube channel. Hebrews with a Z in the hood. I was just about to do it. They just did a documentary. Come closer to tell her what it's about then, bro.
Yeah, man. Y'all know we been working on this seemed like forever, but we did part 1 to a 3-part series we doing called the Trilogy of Truth. It debuted last night. The numbers is looking pretty good so far. It could be better, so I asked y'all to share it. And I say that because I noticed when I got a drama video, like talk about another camp or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm going in on a pastor, or if when I'm on my go-in mode, them views is in the high thousands.
And everybody cheerleading.
Yeah, now when we on some educational stuff, or when I'm on some love your brother stuff, them joints start looking real shady. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So come on, y'all, support the Walls of Jericho ministry, man, and we gonna keep bringing y'all more stuff. Part 2, we working on that right now. Y'all gonna love that. We gonna get even deeper, dealing with the African continent and the Israelites, the tribes that are Israelites, because everybody ain't no Israelites, more Hamites over there than anything. We gonna clarify things. And also our third one, we going out with a bang. we're gonna be examining Latin America.
It is.
Afro-Latino that nobody talks about. And that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna even talk no more about that. So check it out. So my Hebrews in the Hood channel. And also I'm gonna start getting my old channel back cracking. Mikael Yisrael. Yzrael. So shalom.
And I also told them when they get done with that, start heading over to India.
Yeah.
With the city tribes over there. Who's all the Asian tribes too. Yeah. Over in India.
We going global, baby. We gonna find Israel under rocks. Whatever it is.
Find everybody under rocks. So again, share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the Walls of Jericho on Facebook and Hebrews in the Hood on YouTube, and on mine, YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook, Azakay Fingers. I thank y'all for watching. Again, peace.